guys, welcome back to the podcast. Happy Monday. I hope that your week is off to a beautiful start. I am excited to talk about today's topic because this is one of my Roman empires. I am going to share my morning routine with you guys. And if you follow me literally anywhere else, then you have heard me share my morning routine or you have watched my morning routines. I actually just uploaded, I think the YouTube video will be up before this episode. I filmed it actually this morning as I'm recording, but I am going to share a video vlog of my morning routine. I haven't uploaded a YouTube video in a few weeks, so I thought it would be fun to kind of pair a video of my morning routine over on my YouTube channel, as well as do a podcast episode this week, kind of talking you through why I wake up early and why I do the things I do in the morning. So if you want to watch that video, I will talk about different things in that video and I'll show you more just like what the routine is. And the podcast episode you're listening to now is going to be more the why and kind of mentally what my morning routine is rather than here's what time I do this, this, and this. So make sure you follow me over on YouTube. It's at Emma Grace Jens, and that has probably already gone up. So go check that video out. So warm up your coffee, pop in your AirPod, because I'm sure you're multitasking like I usually am when I listen to a podcast. And let's just jump right into it. So first of all, I think it's important for me to tell you why I am sharing with you my morning routine. It is not to shame you if you sleep in until your kids wake up. It is not to make you feel like you're not doing enough if you don't wake up at the crack of dawn, or to make you feel guilty if you don't have the perfect morning routine. It is not to convince you that you need to wake up at 5 a.m. or you're not a good mom, or to convince you to teach yourself to become a morning person. I am just sharing with you why I like to wake up early and how I get out of bed at 5 a.m. Because here's the thing, nobody wants to wake up in the morning, especially if you're a mom. I don't care if you wake up at 5 or you get to sleep in until 8 o'clock. Like, no one wants to wake up in the morning. Sometimes, most of the time, it is just really hard to get out of bed, and that is normal. But there are a lot of things that I do first thing in the morning that really, really transform my entire day and my motherhood and just how my mornings go. So I may not be in control of the rest of my day, but I am in control of how I spend the first moments of my day and the first hour or so of my day. And so I personally just really love to utilize that time to the best that I can so that I can set myself up for success. And if that is not something of value to you right now, like if that's just not your priority, waking up early, or you're in a season where that just feels not your top priority, that is fine. This was not my morning routine when I was pregnant. This was not my morning routine when I was postpartum. This was not my morning routine when I was still waking up with a baby throughout the night. Okay, let me just give that full disclaimer, because every time almost I share about my morning routine, which I do very often because people ask me pretty frequently to talk about it or just to share my tips of how to become a morning person, how to wake up so early. I feel like every time I get comments or somebody just like feeling offended or defensive or guilty after watching and listening to why I wake up early. So I just want to put that out there. You don't have to do this to be a good mom. So if this is going to make you feel guilty or less than, you don't have to listen to this episode. But if you have been wanting to try to get up early, I'm going to share why I do this and how I kind of got to this point. Without further ado, let's just jump right in. So number one, a good morning routine truly starts with a good night routine. I have never been a night owl. I just have never been that way. I have been wired to be a morning person as opposed to a night owl pretty much my whole life. And so this transition to just waking up a little bit earlier wasn't extremely difficult for me. Like, it's still difficult, okay? Nobody wants to wake up at 5. I don't want to wake up at 5 every day. But I will say, naturally, I do definitely tend to be more of a morning person, and I've kind of always found myself that way. But still, I think even if you are a night owl, setting yourself up for success the night before is vital, because if you stay up until 1 a.m. scrolling, absolutely you are not going to wake up early. I wouldn't either. That's why I don't stay up until 1 a.m. scrolling. I am pretty strict with my bedtime, and I get for a lot of people, they feel, especially as a mom, they feel like that's their only break and that's their only time with their husband and that's their me time or their scroll raw on the couch time. I totally understand that. However, I would rather feel rested than waste my time and energy and precious sleep scrolling on TikTok. Like, it's just not a priority to me. And I still get plenty of time. My kids are asleep by 8 o'clock. And so I've got about an hour, give or take, that is my time to either do something I want to do, watch a show, hang out with my husband, scroll and rot on the couch if that's what I feel like doing. But I still have a good hour. If I just sit and scroll for hours, I feel kind of nasty after. And I'm just going to feel so much better if at 9 o'clock I put my phone down, I turn the TV off, and I go get ready for bed, than if I sit and I continue to rot on the couch on my phone on a movie or whatever for the next 2 hours. It's just not fruitful. It's not beneficial. And it may feel like I'm getting a break and it may feel like my me time. It's really not, though, you guys. Like, it's really just making you more tired the next day and it's not providing you anything. So, to me, that's what I remind myself when it's late and I'm like, oh, I really just want to have all this me time to myself. One, I kind of get my me time back in the mornings instead of at night. But two, it's not actually filling my cup up at all. It's actually depleting me because I'm going to be more tired tomorrow. So, that does take a little bit of discipline. At 9 o'clock, pretty much give or take, my husband and I both will go to bed, which also makes it easier because I do understand some husbands are night owls or they don't have to wake up early. My husband and I both are pretty aligned though on our schedules, which makes it a little bit easier. But again, that came with discipline and just like routine and kind of getting into this routine and rhythm where we both get tired about the same time. We both pretty much head to bed around 9-ish and we both wake up pretty early. That is the first step, is to examine your night routine. Go to bed earlier. By 9:30 at the latest, I am shutting everything off and I'm getting to bed. And I also try to avoid my phone right before bed. I can't say I do the really responsible thing that I should do, which is to set my phone aside and to not scroll that last hour before bed. That's what I should do. But again, that's what I feel like is my only hour to sit and rot if I want to do that. So I do allow myself from like 8 to 9 to be on my phone. However, when I get off the couch and I head to bed, I will not sit in my bed and scroll. And I think that is where the difference is because I don't follow that every single time. But I notice when I don't because then I am staying up later than I want and I'm just kind of feeling gross. And the worst thing is when you're scrolling and you just have no filter of what you're viewing, right? Like, especially if you're on TikTok or something and you're just scrolling. I can be crying, laughing 1 minute, and then the next minute I'm sobbing and I see the saddest video of all time. And then the next minute I'm watching a recipe, and the next minute I'm watching a homeschool video, and now my brain is spiraling about homeschool. Like, so much happens when you're scrolling and you're just receiving so much information and stimulation, and it is too much for me. And so I don't limit, the hour before bed like I really should, but I do limit when I get in bed. I try really hard to set the boundary that like I set my alarm, I turn my phone on do not disturb, and then I leave it alone. Nothing good comes from it. So, all that to say, put your phone down and go to bed, okay? So, now let's skip to a good, 7 hours later. Is that how much sleep I get? Ish. 8 hours later, and my alarm starts going off at 5 o'clock. And I don't necessarily have a strict, like, you get out of bed right at 5. Some days I do. I try to, but I also give myself grace and sometimes I snooze a couple of times and that's fine. But between 5 and 5:30 is my general wake up time. If it's 5:30, that's like as late as I let myself snooze. If I wake up and I've snoozed until 5:30, I'm like, okay, that's enough. I will get out of bed by 5:30 at the latest. The first thing that I do is go to the bathroom, obviously, and I brush my teeth. This is silly, but I find that if I brush my teeth, I'm not going back to bed. Especially if I wash my face, I don't do this every day, but I have been doing this a lot more lately because sometimes it's just hard to get out of bed. And I've been feeling that lately, just being so tired. Like, it feels like there's a weight on me and I don't really want to get up. If I brush my teeth and I wash my face, I'm good. I'm awake. And then I also usually go into the kitchen and I get myself a nice, warm, cozy cup of coffee. And I've tried to drink water first or like put off my coffee and have it at breakfast, but I usually cave and I get coffee because honestly, coffee is usually the thing that gets me out of bed. When I'm laying there and I'm snoozing and I really don't want to get up, I literally imagine myself pouring that cup of coffee and taking the first sip, and like the peaceful morning routine that I know and love of drinking my coffee, reading my Bible, having some quiet time. I picture that and I try to like imagine that cup of coffee specifically, and it literally will get me out of bed. And by the time I have gone to the bathroom, brushed my teeth, washed my face, made a cup of coffee, and come back into my room and gotten in bed to read my Bible, there is no way I'm going back to sleep. It's been about 10 or 15 minutes at this point that I've been up and doing things. And that's really the key, is not to just lay there and scroll and debate if you should get up. Like if you think about it too much, you're gonna fall back asleep and you're gonna feel worse because you were already awake and then you went back to sleep and then you were awake and then you went back to sleep. Like that's the worst night of sleep ever, is when you just keep waking up back and forth. So just get up, do a couple of things to help wake you up, and then usually once I'm up, I'm good. So I grab my coffee, I come back in my room, I either sit in my bed or I sit at my desk or in a chair or something, and I will read my Bible at this time. And I do a Bible plan. And if you are curious, I do have a YouTube video as well about my morning quiet time routine and what that structure is like. If you don't really know where to start, I don't think you need to overthink it. First of all, I think just like open up your Bible and pick a book of the Bible, or the YouVersion app is a Bible app, and they have so many good devotional plans. You can search by topic, you can pick a book of the Bible and study it, and it can really be as little or as much as you want to do. But it's helpful to have some kind of plan, because whenever I am not on a Bible plan, I will either skip my Bible of the day because I don't have anything to keep me accountable, or I will read something very random and be like, okay, I don't even know why I just read that, or what the context of that story was, or what to do about that. But at least I read my Bible and I'll move on. So I find having a plan and something to follow very, very helpful. And it also just keeps me accountable. That is a non negotiable in my day and in my morning routine specifically, is to read my Bible. Not just to check it off a list, but because the Word of God is so, so valuable. And truly, I cannot start mothering, I cannot start my day without first being filled up by the Lord. And some days this looks like 10 minutes of prayer and silence afterwards. Some days this looks like my Bible reading was really long and my brain is feeling a little bit fried. And so I will kind of like let that be it for the day. Just to be honest with you, it kind of just depends on the day, but I do always, always structure that time in the morning with the Lord. It looks different every single day, but on a perfect day, I read my Bible, I sit in silence, and I pray. And I have a notebook of things that I kind of go down a list and pray for, or I just kind of pray for my day, my family, just gratitude and all these things. So that's a non negotiable in my morning. And again, I will be taking care of other people all day long. And so I need to first fill myself up with the only source of true peace and rest, which comes from the Holy Spirit. And the only way that you can receive the fruits of the Spirit, like joy and peace and patience and kindness and gentleness and all of these things that I need to get through my day of being a mom of two, I need to first receive the fruits of the Spirit by being in the Spirit and sitting and having a time with the Lord. So next, after that, I usually work out. I work out about 4 to 5 days a week. We have a home gym in our basement, which is such a blessing. And I will go down there around 6 o'clock. That's like my ideal workout time and kind of my internal timer. So 6 o'clock, I head down to the basement. That's like right around when my husband also is finished working out for the day, and he starts to like get in the shower, get ready for work. So it works out really well. So I go down there, I work out. I really love this time. I am not always the best at it, and I can't say I do like a 45-minute hit workout, like crushing it. I aim for 20 minutes of weights. Like that's my goal. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's 20 minutes, but then I'll take a 30-minute walk with my kids. Most mornings I do take a walk, but I try to do something because, again, I am spending my entire day pouring into my children, taking care of my children, and it's so important to me to also take care of myself. And for so long, that was just not my top priority, because I was just, one, honestly being so lazy, and I didn't think it really mattered. But now that I've really gotten into the habit, it's like the utmost importance. Like I see such a big difference, not just in like the way that my body looks, but more importantly, my energy levels, the way that I feel. I feel stronger. And that is so important to me, especially because I've got two 99th percentile children. Like, I need all the muscles and all the help I can get. And they also keep me in shape. Like, I swear, I have biceps for the first time in my entire life. And part of that is because I've been very consistently weight training. But a good part of that is also because I've got two very large girls who love to be carried by their mother. So I need to be in shape. I need to be fit. And I want to be my healthiest self for my children because I'm too busy to not be in shape. Like, I can't afford to not take care of myself. I need to keep up with them. I want to be the best version of myself for them, but also for myself because I deserve it. I deserve 30 minutes a day to keep myself healthy and strong and taken care of. I think that that's acceptable. And I feel like that should be a non negotiable for me. And for a long, long time in my life, it just wasn't. But right now it is. And I'm really loving it. So I will do that. If I don't work out though, like Mondays, for example, are my podcasting days. This is when I upload a podcast. This is when I record my podcasts. If I'm doing any other social media work, like Monday is kind of my focus on that in the mornings and at nap time and at bedtime. Like Monday is my quote unquote work day. So usually I won't work out on Mondays. Mondays mornings will be my work time. So I will edit the podcast. A podcast goes up on Monday mornings. So I will make sure everything's good there. I will work on like thumbnails and stories. Anyways, things you don't really care about, but that's like my time to also get things done. And when I did YouTube like full time, basically, I wasn't really working out at the time, but I was still just as busy first thing in the morning because that was my YouTube time. I find myself the most productive first thing in the morning, especially like after I've read my Bible and my coffee is like half gone. It's kind of starting to kick in. My brain is just the most quiet. And especially when, again, all day long, I don't have a lot of control over the time I'm going to have, how quiet my house is going to be, and what needs are going to be given to me that I'm going to have to take care of. And so having that time first thing in the morning to get things done, my brain is just so much clearer. And I also then can focus on when my children wake up, their needs and our morning routine, and just kind of having that family focus because I've already accomplished a workout or I've already accomplished like an upload or whatever it is that I need to get done. So this time is seriously so important to me. I think the biggest thing that people miss out on when they choose not to wake up early and they choose to sleep until their children wake up is they want sleep and they want rest. And I am, again, I'm not guilting you into this if that is you, especially if you are in a season where you're postpartum or you're up all night or whatever. I am not shaming you, okay? But I can tell you from personal experience, there is no time the whole rest of my day that is as precious to me as that morning time. It is quiet, I am productive, it's peaceful, and I can't imagine how much different my day would look if I chose to skip all of that time and wake up when my kids do. There is no other job out there where you wake up and you immediately start the workday. Picture a corporate job or even a teaching job. Like I said in the past, I was a teacher. I can't imagine literally the moment that I open my eyes, I'm in my classroom and my students are in front of me and it's go time. That is not how it works. Like, you wake up, you get ready for the day, you have a morning commute, you prepare your stuff, your lessons for the day or your emails or your agenda. Like, you have time to prepare. And I think when you treat motherhood like a job, it is just so much more manageable in my opinion. And that's kind of what I found here is when I have this structured morning routine, I set myself up for success just like I would at a normal job. And I see the fruits of that. I'm able to greet my children when they wake up with no frustration because I've already gotten some things done. And even if I didn't get anything done, I've at least had time to breathe and sit in the presence of the Holy Spirit and drink some coffee. My goodness gracious, drink it hot. Like, once my kids are awake, my coffee cup is going to be reheated 15 times at the minimum. It is so precious to me, and I put such firm guardrails around it that I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of sleep for that peace. And I think too, something that really helps me, especially because I'm a real person who gets tired, especially when I want to snooze and I don't really want to wake up, I will remind myself, you're still going to be tired in 9 minutes when this second snooze goes off. Even if you get great 15, 20, 30 more minutes of sleep, do you really think that's going to solve all your problems? Do you really think you're going to be so much better rested by 15, 20, 30 more minutes of very choppy sleep? No, absolutely not. Actually, you're probably going to be more tired, but you will feel more accomplished. You will feel better rested and better prepared for your day and more peaceful if, with those 15, 20, 30 minutes, you just take a few minutes for yourself. You don't even have to necessarily accomplish anything or do anything with that time, but I really think it's so valuable to just put yourself first for 10 minutes. The other way that I kind of treat it like a job is I always get myself ready. I don't necessarily make sure that I'm fully ready for the day before the girls wake up, but again, I am like thinking of my future self here. Like I know that I can get ready when they're awake. I can do my makeup, I can do my hair, I can get dressed when they're awake later. However, if you've ever gotten ready with toddlers, yeah, that's all I need to say. My makeup is everywhere. It's been chewed on. It's been destroyed. It's been dumped out. The straightener keeps getting pulled down, and I'm terrified I'm going to give my children a third-degree burn. I walk in my closet to get dressed, and suddenly all my laundry basket has been dumped out, and my shoes are all over the floor, and there's shorts on my daughter's head. Like, it's chaos, y'all. And could I do that? Sure. Do I do that some days? Yes, I do. But I know that I'm going to have a better time if I wake up 5, 10 minutes earlier and I get myself ready in silence and I get myself ready drinking my coffee. And it, first of all, takes me significantly less time if I do it before my kids are awake. But then when I go to wake them up, I have already done my makeup for the day. I've already like brushed my hair at least. And even if I'm not dressed, I know what I'm going to wear. And I just feel so much more put together because, again, you don't at any other job open your eyes, roll out of bed, and immediately start teaching children in the classroom. Like, you're not in your pajamas with 5-day-old hair and not even a washed face at your job. You just feel better when you get yourself a little bit ready. And this is obviously different for everybody, but me personally, I love to like do my skincare routine, put on a face of makeup because I just feel more like me and more like myself. And it helps me enjoy motherhood better because I feel like myself. So that's another non-negotiable for me. And again, all of this doesn't happen if I wake up when my kids do. So these are things that really matter to me. And I just would challenge you if this is something that you are really struggling with. One, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay. If your morning routine works for you, that's awesome. I really don't care if you don't ever try this. I'm really making this episode for the people who want to do this and just feel like they can't or just aren't sure where to start. So here's what I would say. Number one, like I said earlier, go to bed earlier. And at first, it might feel like you're going to bed a crazy amount earlier if you are used to staying up late and scrolling and then sleeping in. It's going to take some time for your body to adjust, but just getting in the habit of going to bed, putting your phone down, and laying there, even if you lay there for an hour. I know that's going to be frustrating, but still wake up in the morning, even just 15, 20 minutes earlier, and then try something. Do one thing. Have a cup of coffee. Do your makeup. Make your bed and sit in silence for 5 minutes. Pick just one thing you want to do before your children are awake. And it does not have to be big. It does not have to be super productive or aesthetic. Just literally pick one thing, set your alarm for 15, 20 minutes earlier, and try that. And then when your nighttime comes, you're probably going to be more tired because you woke up a little bit earlier. And so that early bedtime is not going to feel as strange. And you're probably not going to lay there as long because you woke up early. So that's really the key here. You kind of stay in the routine and in the cycle. My body now naturally gets tired around 8:30 or 9 o'clock. And my body very naturally wakes up about 5 o'clock every single day. Even if my alarm is not set, my body, like clockwork, wakes up by 5:30 on the dot every single time I forget to set an alarm because I've just gotten into this habit and routine, and your body will adjust. Of course, it's not going to be fun and it's not going to feel easy at first. And just try it for 1 week, okay? Give it 1 week. You're not going to have this magical experience overnight, probably. Maybe you will. That's great. But give it 1 week to let your body adjust to this new schedule and tell me if you don't notice a difference or if you don't feel better rested and you don't feel more peaceful and better prepared to take on your day, because motherhood is a job. And if you don't treat it like a job, you are just doing yourself a disservice. You deserve a little bit of time before you jump straight into motherhood. You really do. So I hope that this was helpful for you. Again, I hope you don't leave feeling discouraged or like you're not doing well and you're not doing good enough if you're not waking up at 3 a.m. Okay, that is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is you deserve some time to yourself. Let me know if you try this or if you already have a morning routine similar to mine. I would love to hear what your routine is. And again, I have a YouTube video that I think probably will have go up the day before this podcast episode. So if you want to go see a visual of my morning routine, I'm not going to chat about all these things. I'm just going to kind of show you like time stamped what my morning looks like. Even past just like my personal morning routine, like how I get the girls ready and what we do after they're awake, which I didn't really touch on in this episode. If you want to see all of that and kind of what our family morning routine looks like, go check out my YouTube channel. It's at Emma Grace Jens. Also, make sure you go follow me over on Instagram. It's again at Emma Grace Jens, and leave this podcast a rating, a review. Thank you so much for being here, for listening today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, friends.